Hi, Joel Baird here, General Manager of Missoula Community Access TV. I'm with Bob Reid, who's the General Manager of the Emergency Services Department for Missoula County. We're going to talk about a bond that's on the upcoming Tuesday, November 4th election. We wanted you to be fully informed. Bob, thanks so much for spending time to let people know about the upcoming bond issue. First of all, what is the bond issue for?
Well, it's for an emergency operations and training center for Missoula County, which would also service residents of the city of Missoula as well. There are a number of components to the building. It would house the 911 center and the emergency services department, the Missoula County Sheriff's Office, and then a combination emergency operations center and a training facility.
Why does Missoula now need this facility in 2008?
Well, we've needed it for a number of years. It's driven mostly by population. The community is getting bigger. Growing pains are no stranger to any of us that live here. In the 911 center, we have currently 6 dispatch positions. We take in around 160,000 phone calls a year. We dispatch 28 state and local agencies. And those generate about 120,000 calls for service every year. That grows at a 10 to 15% every year, and that trend has continued over quite a long period of time. What an emergency operations center is, in very general terms, is a place for commanders and government officials to work out of to manage a large incident. The event that might come most to mind for people locally is the Hells Angels run last summer. In order to do that, the city and the county, both the police and the sheriff's office, had to rent space to run their emergency operations out of. At any given time on that event, there were probably from 20 to 30 people working there at any particular time of the day. It might be of interest to know that the current Emergency Operations Center for Missoula County is this room.
Oh, this is why you said we have to be in this room. It's
So
part of the story.
you can look around and imagine trying to run an event that covers several square miles and requires 20 to 25 people to accurately manage happening in this room.
So if someone is watching and they want to learn more about the project, more about the need for the facility, what else can they do besides watching our short program?
Well, we'd be very happy to take them on a tour of our current facilities. I think that there's a strong visual aspect to understanding what we need. It's hard to explain cramped and inadequate quarters in words. And so we've got a tour schedule set up every Tuesday at 12 noon and then every Thursday at 5:30 p.m. And to come on those tours, you just need to come to the Pine Street entrance to the courthouse across from the bus station, and we'd be happy to show you around.
I'm visiting with Mike McMeekin, the Sheriff of Missoula County, about the Emergency Operations Center bond election. Mike, why is this facility needed?
Mainly to keep up with changing times, both in the number of people we serve and in the different functions that have changed over the years. We need to adapt. It will greatly enhance our ability to manage multiple large things simultaneously, which we simply cannot do now because of space.
So, for example, you're saying if there's a large forest fire within the county, if there is an unusual incident like a Hells Angels visit, if that's compounded by something going wrong with the rail system, given the current facility, you'd really be stressed and wouldn't be able to do the best job possible.
I'd make one small change in that, Joel.
Okay.
Because it's not if anymore. It's when. Take the Hells Angels, take the fire, take any of the things you talked about, and everyone's dealing with that. At the same time, 90% of the county population is unaffected and they're going about their daily business. So we're dealing with that, and then all of a sudden there's a medical call, or there's a 2 or 3 vehicle motor accident. Normal day-to-day things, but all happening at the same time. And we need both the space and the technological improvements to be able to do that.
Why move the sheriff's office? Isn't the downtown courthouse location fine?
Well, number one, remember that the entire concept since the early to mid-1990s has been focused around the fact that sooner or later the courthouse will be a literal interpretation in that it will be almost exclusively courts. We've known that for a very long time. So in 1996, when we the county bought the land for the detention facility, we also bought the land for this building, because we knew then we would have to build it.
Right.
And that's when we started putting away the money for it, by the way. So to move, the physical location makes more sense for us out there. It's much easier for the public, especially people with mobility impairments. They won't have to be driving around the block looking for a parking space, for example. And we still have great access to all the main avenues we need. I mean, you're talking geographically, we're 25% larger than the state of Delaware.
Yeah.
And we also service, in a lot of different functions, everybody within the city of Missoula. We're the coroner's office, and most of that activity occurs within the city limits. Civil process and a lot of the other things. So while we will not be combined for a variety of reasons in a single facility, we're still providing combined service. And the city police department, for example, will probably be big users of the training facility, certainly of the emergency operations center. And as Bob Reid mentioned, they're all dispatched out of 911.
Yeah.
So people need to remember this will be truly a combined service building.